Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Heather Issing. I'm with Glantz. I am here in Louisville. It's a beautiful day here, and we are very excited to introduce you to both Jeff Fassett and Lauren Conaway from Principal Industries. They are going to be teaching today and hopefully some good tips and tricks on the LED Wizard. So Jeff is one of the probably first wizards to the industry. So we're excited to hear a little bit about him and the company and teach you some stuff today. So I'm going to hand it over to these two, and they're going to do a great job in this webinar.
Thank you very much, Heather. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today. I'm excited to talk to you about the Easy Layout Builder 2.0. And this is, of course, our online LED layout tool. My name is Jeff Fassett, and I run the Aries Graphics group here at Principal Industries. And we also have Lauren Conaway on, and she's our Director of Marketing. So I have a PowerPoint slide here, and then I have the actual application that I'll show you. So I'll switch to my browser window, and then we have a little special item in the last few minutes. If you have questions, go ahead and put them into the chat, and we'll try to answer them. So this is Principal Industries. We have 5 brands in the business. We have Principal Sloan, Ventex for neon equipment and supplies, Principal Services, which does most of our RGB work and programming and custom work. Of course, Sloan LED, and our group, LED Wizard. And so we're 5 brands, but it's one mission to simplify the lives of our customers, and that's not just a tagline. That's actually what we do and how we operate. So all of these 5 brands work together to support you guys as customers. But today we'll talk about the LED Wizard platform and specifically the Easy Layout Builder. But I like to show this slide because it gives a good overview of how Principal Industries supports you for layouts. So Easy Layout Builders, of course, our online tool, and that's what we're spending time on today. LED Wizard 8 is, of course, our desktop tool, which does estimates and also can produce production files that you can use in your shop to produce the jobs. LED Wizard 8 is really about importing custom files, whereas that's not something that we do in the Easy Layout Builder. LED Wizard 8, this is what we use internally, what our layout team uses, and you can also use in your shop. The layout team that we have here at Principal, it's the best in the industry. These folks are running LED Wizard 8 all day, doing your jobs and handling program work and larger jobs and anything that you need help with. You can send those jobs into our layout team, and these guys will turn it around for you. So really, when as a shop, when you have a job come in, these are the 3 options, and they each have their place. I try to make sure that shops know about each of these options and when to use each one. In terms of Easy Layout Builder that we're talking about today, these are the jobs that are sort of more standard in the sense that you have a standard channel letter set, you have a standard cabinet, but not super standard. I mean, there are quite a bit of options here. So I'll show you doing a halo layout on channel letters. I'll show like an elliptical cabinet with our stick products and how that works. So there are quite a few options, even though these are standard tools. But this is going to run on your PC and on your tablet and on your smartphone, so you can keep this with you as you travel. We generate a PDF, and that PDF will summarize the module count, the driver count with the part numbers, and some additional information about that job. This is free to you, so you can go on here. There's a simple login form. You can sort of see it down here.
Jeff, we are not seeing your screen, so if you could share your screen with us.
Oh, geez.
It's okay. I thought you were just filling us in, so.
I thought this whole time that I was sharing. I was sharing a second ago.
There we go. Now we can see. Very good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to go backwards. So this, um, this is the graphic that I was referring to about the 3 different ways to get a layout, just so you have a visual in terms of what I was talking about. This is the slide that I was just on, just talking about the details of the Easy Layout Builder. So what I was saying is that our system generates a PDF, and this PDF provides the module count, the driver count with the part numbers, some additional information about that job. The system is free, and so you can sign up on this little form that I'll show you here in a second. And really, when you make an easy layout and you get that PDF, you can convert that directly into an order and send that back through to your Glantz rep. So it's a pretty clean process. This is the address. I'll show you here on the browser in a second how to get to the site. But before I do that, I want to show the interface for channel letters and cabinets. And so this is what it looks like. Just to talk through a couple of things here before I get into it. So there's the text tab, and the way that these drop downs and filters work is it's kind of a left to right, where you select the layout type first, and then you select the size of your lettering, and then the can depth, and then the font, the voltage. You don't have to select the voltage, but that is an option, and then that will filter the available series, right? So we have 12-volt series, such as Quick Mod. We have 24-volt series, so you'd be able to select that, the color if it's appropriate, and then the actual module that you'll select. And of course, we have our driver list as well. And so you just go left and right across here and select things, and the final item is to type in your text. So I'll give you a couple examples of that. The sign cabinet interface has a couple more things, right? So we can do single-sided or double-sided. We can do face lit, side lit, halo lit, as well as one option that we call hybrid. And then orientation can be vertical or horizontal or angled. And then the same filters in terms of to select your actual module. And then down here we have shapes. You can do a polygon or an ellipse or a circle or a triangle. You can also add a radius and a rotation. So actually quite a few options for cabinets, and I'll show you a couple of those. But again, it's sort of just left, right, select. You don't have to select all of these, but those can be some of the filters. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go here to this browser tab. So this is the Principal Sloan website, and to get to it here, you just go to Resources and then Easy Layout Builder 2.0, and fill out this short sign up form here. I'm going to bypass that and just go straight into the tool, and it should look exactly like what I just showed you. And so I'm going to select, initially we'll just keep this really simple just to show you the workflow. I'll do a face lit. I'll set the height to 36 inches. The letter size goes from 8 inches all the way up to 96 inches. And then select a can depth range, and again, a very large can depth range. So if you have a very shallow or a very deep letter, you're going to get a different set of modules than you would at, say, 4 or 5 inches. We have our font list, and we have about 30 fonts in the system. And so you can select the font. I'll select Rockwell. Voltage, I'll do 12 volt, and I'll pick Quick Mod 2 colors. So you can see my list, which includes Quick Mod products, Street Fighter, and Prism products. And then I'll select red, and then here's my module. Okay, so by the time I've created all these filters and I get to here, there's only one module to select. We then have our drivers. We have 60-watt drivers, 120, 180, and but I'll just stay with the Energizer series 60-watt. Power supply mode, generally for channel letters, we do optimal by letter. and that will keep letters together on the driver. And I'm going to type in my text Glantz and press populate. Okay. So here's my layout. Just takes a second to generate that. It's got the module count below each letter, and you can see that this is a facelit channel letters. So if you want to change something, then that's easy to do. And you say, well, I didn't really want Rockwell. I really wanted Helvetica bold condensed. So if I just change one option and then I click on populate, then it's going to recalculate that with the new font. Okay. By the same token, if I wanted to change the module or change the letter size or something, then I can do that. So I will go ahead and change to a halo lit to show you how this works. When you're in halo lit mode, you have an offset amount, which is, I think we have it as a 1/2 inch to 2 inches. I'm going to stay at 1 inch and move this, my letter size up a little bit. So I'm going to do 48 inch. I'm going to keep the ken depth pretty shallow and use a bit of a thicker font, Add Sans Bold. And why don't we change the voltage to 24, and I'll select Prism Synergy Mini Whites. Okay, so this is at 3 inch depth. These are the products that you have that you can select from: Prism Synergy, Patriot, Prism 24, QuickMod 24. Okay, so that's white. So we of course have our different white color temperatures, and the rest I'll leave this the same, and populate my my halo lettering. Right, so that's halo lettering. You can zoom in on this with the mouse wheel and sort of take a closer look at what that looks like. So that's my that's going to be my channel letter, and let's switch now to cabinet mode. And as you saw in the previous slide, there are quite a few options here on cabinet. Again, the first time I'll just keep this pretty simple. I'm going to do a 4x8 single-sided facelit cabinet. It's going to be 8 inches deep. My orientation is going to be vertical. I'm actually going to do this with our stick products. So I'll do 12 volt and tap out stick. And I'll keep the same driver that I had before. And this is, of course, a rectangle. And click on populate. Okay, so there's my layout. And I'm going to change this up a little bit and say that instead of doing it as a rectangle, I'm going to do this as an ellipse. And our system knows when you select an ellipse or like a polygon to select the appropriate length stick that fits in there. So when I do that here, I get the different length sticks that fit in here. Okay, and that's going to be true again with some of the other shapes that you select as well. So that's my layout here. One other item that I will point out here is this option for extra rows. So if you want to tighten up the spacing, you want to put in more modules or more sticks because something you have on the face, or you just want it to be extra bright. If you click on extra rows, then it'll calculate that. So tap out stick actually at that depth had a couple fewer sticks than most of our sticks, and by adding 2 here, I actually get to 12-inch row spacing. So that is something that you can sort of do on the fly there. So moving on now, when I click on details, I get these tables here, and this is sort of everything you'd want to know about this job, and including power supply loading. And this is just an opportunity to to check this data before you go to the PDF. And so when that looks good and you want to take a look at the PDF, you click here, and this is actually going to generate a PDF that supports both the text and the cabinet. So here's our text page, and so again, it has the module count, the power supply count, as well as the part numbers and the SKUs, total wattage. It actually also shows area and perimeter, which of course you can use to estimate some of your other materials. So those are both important numbers there. And then if I scroll down, here's the cabinet with tap out sticks, showing the 8 sticks. I added a couple extra ones there. And so again, here I get area perimeter here, as well as row spacing, and then my different length sticks listed over here on the right. And then we get to the details page. So this is kind of like the details tab, and it lays everything out here, including the power supply loading, probably the most valuable part of the details here. The power supply loading, what goes on each letter. And then here as well, the different counts of the sticks and the sizes, and the power supply loading. So that's really how the Easy Layout Builder system works. It is designed to be fast, designed to be easy. It doesn't require a lot of training. You should be able to go in here and put in your job. If you have a job that is pretty similar to this and you're matching a font, then you can select the font that is the best match. We see customers going in here and maybe trying a couple different fonts. Maybe you want to do one layout with a 12-volt product, another layout with a 24-volt product, and that's certainly okay to do. And you saw how easy it was to change that. If for some reason you're doing a metric layout, then you can do the imperial or metric switch. If you want to operate in a different language, you can do that as well. The help system here, I didn't really show that, but as I hover over a field, you can see that the helpline that is showing up. As I move off here, it disappears. The helpline down there. So if you do get hung up somewhere, then you can take a look at the helpline there, and that'll tell you what you need to know about that field. So are there any questions about the system? I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. We see a lot of volume on the system, and we constantly review to make sure that everything is looking good. And when you're at the finish line here, you can download the PDF, in which case that'll just download to your system, and or you can email the PDF to yourself because you signed in, and so we have your email address. You can receive that PDF as an email. And again, sometimes our customers will take that email, forward it to your Glantz rep, and say, hey, this is what I want to order. So I'll just pause for a second. Heather, Lauren, are there any questions?
Pat is saying that it's very easy to use, so that's good. And he used it here recently. I do have a question that's not on the chat, but can you retrieve a job that you put in maybe a couple weeks ago and you want to pull that back up, or do you just have to recreate it?
Yeah, you would have to recreate it. That's a great question, Heather. And what's nice about this system is it's very consistent. So if you put in a job exactly like what I put in here, and if I do this job in another month, I'm going to get the exact same result. Unless we change something about the density guidelines or something like that. But it's very much you have a set of inputs and you get a set of outputs. If you're doing a job and you're doing something that is a little bit different from the standard or different from the norm in the sense of, a module you're using it a different way, or the artwork is unique in some way, then you probably should be on LED Wizard 8 to do that. This system has a little bit of flexibility. You saw where I could, I could add rows, and you can edit modules a little bit. But if you're really breaking the rules and doing something unique, then this system, you should probably use LED Wizard 8 to do that.
Okay. Does it recommend a certain LED system based on the draw or the letters that you choose?
Not specifically, not beyond the filtering that we do. So in a sense, yes. And let me go back and I'll kind of explain this. So, if I have a very small letter and a shallow depth, then my my module options will be limited. So here it's Prism Synergy Micro. You know, and as I sort of get a little bit larger and a little bit deeper, you know, then some other modules start coming in, right? So really can depth, letter size will determine, in some cases, what modules are available. And this filtering is kind of all on the fly, right? So if I have a really large letter and a really deep letter, then you know, we get into our larger modules: Prism Synergy HO, Prism Synergy Deep, Patriot Large, right? Prism 24. So so there is some filtering, but in really common combinations like a 24-inch letter of 5-inch depth, you're going to have a whole lot of modules to choose from. And we don't actually pick one for you. We do have sorting of modules, where certain modules will be first or certain modules will be you know, down the list, but we don't actually just select one for you.
I do have another question for you. Well, Rob says he loves the system and he can't wait to implement it. So that's exciting. And then Jeremy says, is it possible to import a custom shape or font? If so, what file format?
Yeah, it's not on the online system. So if you're needing to do that, then you should be doing that in LED Wizard 8. And of course, you know, that's a product that we develop and support on our team. So if you're interested in LED Wizard 8 and you don't have a license, then I encourage you to reach out to me. And here's my contact information here. So we can get you set up on LED Wizard 8. There are free licenses and there are trial versions, and we offer training, and that's all about custom artwork. So that's where we want to do that.
Just call Glantz and say you want to speak to the wizard, and we will get you in touch with Jeff.
That's right. That's right.
I think that's all the questions right now. Are there any other questions? Can we get a copy of the slideshow?
Sure. Yeah, I'll be happy to share it.
Okay. So for anyone on, we will get that from Jeff, and then we can email out a copy after the presentation.
Terrific.
Okay. Since we have a few minutes left, y'all mind if I cut in for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just wanted to share a video with you all really quick. It's something that Jeff and myself and my team have been working on to just really kind of share the history behind Wizard and the products that have been offered through the years from Aries Graphics, and how that company has really kind of grown up in the sign industry and been handed down from generation to generation, and how it's really developed and blossomed. Jeff isn't going to brag on himself, so I will brag on him anyway. But he's put together just a really neat piece that we'll be publishing really soon to kind of just share that history. But we've also turned that into a video format. We haven't shared it publicly yet, so we wanted to just let you guys see it and have kind of a first sneak peek. I don't even know that any of our staff has seen it yet. So y'all are like the very first to see, but we wanted to share with y'all and get your feedback on it, and just kind of a nice nod to where Wizard has been. So Heather, if you don't mind starting the video, I will turn my mic off and let the video do the talking.
Absolutely. Let me pull this little box down here if I can. All right, sorry guys. Let me start it all the way back over.
This is a story about the Facet family, a sign family of wizards. The Facet Wizards. Riley Facet founded R&D Facet Signs of Quality in the late 30s, Los Angeles, California. He knew 10 fonts he could hand letter, perform on-site lettering on storefronts and cars. He taught his son Jim to help him screen print real estate signs and create pounce patterns. Jim joined the U.S. Naval Academy in the 50s before marrying his wife, Nancy. In the mid-70s, while working as a product development manager for Hughes Aircraft in Carlsbad, California, Jim discovered a powerful new tool that could cut out materials and thicknesses at tight tolerances called an industrial laser cutter. Intrigued by how he could use it in the sign business, Jim left to start integrated laser systems. Nancy left her career as a teacher to join the sign industry, and in the 80s and 90s, Jim, Nancy, and their 3 children, Scott, Dave, and Jeff, worked the family business. Jim was the founder and visionary with the sign background and engineering skills. Nancy was vice president and handled sales and accounting duties. Scott was the creative artist. Dave was the programmer, and young Jeff swept the shop until he was promoted to gopher once he was old enough to drive. Around this time, while Jim mused about how to put a knife, hot tip, or diamond tip on a pen plotter to cut vinyl, Gerber launched their groundbreaking Sign Maker 4B, validating many of Jim's assumptions about both the need for design software and the viability of vinyl cutters. The Sign Maker 4B, with only standard keyboard input, lacked a graphical user interface, and Jim realized the real opportunity was in the software, and thus Aries Graphics was born. Dave started writing Sign Wizard 1.0 in 1989 and launched the software at the NESA show in San Francisco in 1991. Customers had never seen this kind of software before. The software was fun and intuitive, not clunky and cumbersome like CAD programs of that day. Many operations could be done with a single mouse click, and customers loved it. Jim had another idea: automating the manual process of drawing neon patterns in an electrical sign shop. Step by step, Facets designed a product that automated this long-standing manual process in a sign shop, and in 1994, Neon Wizard was born, making its way into the largest shops and sustaining the business for about 10 years. But then something changed. The light-emitting diode, or LED, inevitably made its way into the sign business. As the neon versus LED debate raged, the Facets found themselves in the right place at the right time with LED Wizard. Launched in 2007 as a module for Sign Wizard or Neon Wizard, LED Wizard enabled shops to create their own LED layouts based on the data and direction from a variety of early LED providers. Neon had been the dominant lighting technology for many decades. It was well understood. The LED population of signs, however, was not, and shops needed help. In 2013, Jim finally retired at 77 years old, while Dave and Jeff moved the business from San Diego to Ventura. LED Wizard grew to become the global industry standard LED layout software, and Principal LED, one of its domestic LED suppliers, was growing too, snapping up licenses of LED Wizard as they established more distribution partners and launched their innovative stick-based lighting products. In 2019, Principal LED acquired Aries Graphics, making it part of the Principal Industries family. Today, Dave and Jeff continue applying what they know to new challenges, finding new ways to streamline workflows in the industry and new ways to help sign makers be successful.
Awesome. So I know we have a little bit of lag in the video, but really glad that we could share it with y'all. It's such a cool story to see the generations of the Facet family. And I think the smile on Jeff's face said it all, that just there's so much to be proud of there.
So great.
We're excited to share this with the industry and with you guys. So keep an eye out for it. We'll be publishing it soon. You'll see it end up in your inbox as well. But just wanted to give y'all a sneak peek of it.
Oh, that was a great, Jeff. I think you have a tear under your eye.
I know. Gosh.
Jeff couldn't no talk after the video, but great, Lauren. Great.
Great.
Well, if there are any other questions, please ask them now. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up. Jeff and Lauren, you all did a fabulous job as always. So I hope this was helpful to the customers that are online today.